Come with me to Florence, Italy to learn the craft of hand making a leather bag from scratch. Hi, I'm Janvi. I have a background in fashion design, but recently found myself drawn to the world of leather and the timelessness and precision of Italian craftsmanship. And what better place to learn about that than Florence, especially when this is your view walking to class every day. So day one, we started off by going over the different types of leather that my teacher had in his studio, since I've never really worked with leather in such detail before. We talked about where they came from, what kind of projects they're used in, and also discussed how he goes about sourcing leather responsibly. Next, we did go over some of the leather working tools that we'd be using. We didn't really spend a whole lot of time on this just because it's one of those things where you end up learning more about the tools as you use them. Since this was my first time hand stitching leather, we did start off with a little bit of practice. This stitch right here is called the saddle stitch, and it's the most commonly used stitch for handmade leather goods. It's known to be very strong and durable, more so than machine stitching, which is why you'll see it in more high-end and luxury pieces. I will say it is a little bit tricky to get the hang of. As you can see, I'm definitely taking my time with it. There's a lot of things that you need to pay attention to at the same time, like which needle goes in first, making sure your thread doesn't twist, and keeping everything tight and even as you go. What we're doing here is testing out different stitch lengths. Going into this, I definitely thought I would choose the smallest one since it's the most intricate and I assumed it would look the most high-end. But honestly, with the thicker thread I'm using, I actually ended up liking the middle one much better. It's the 5mm one, and it just felt more balanced overall, so that's the one I ended up going with. I went to a leather shop close by, and while they had a lot of variety, they didn't really have a lot of options for suede leather specifically, which is what I went in looking for. I wanted something that wasn't going to be too flimsy, so I was kind of aiming for the 1.5, 1.6mm thickness, and these are the only two suedes that I found that kind of fit the bill. But honestly, I didn't really love either of them, and even if I did, it was going to be really hard to find a matching leather, so I didn't end up getting anything. So after I went to class, we actually ended up going to this town called Santa Croce, a little outside of Florence, which is kind of recognized as the area's leather district. And we went to this store called Zabri. Their suede felt like really good quality, and they offered it in so many different colors. I ended up picking the dark espresso brown color. So that pretty much wraps up the leather shopping, and we'll work on patterning next. See ya!